In the Middle East, settler violence in the West Bank has intensified in recent weeks. Many of the attacks have targeted the territory's annual olive tree harvest, with more than 140 Palestinians injured and some 4,000 trees vandalized. That's according to the United Nations. For more on this, we turn to CBC senior reporter Tom Perry, who's joining us from Jerusalem. So, Tom, give us a sense of what's the latest on the ground in the West Bank.
Well, along with those attacks that you mentioned against the Palestinian olive groves, what we saw yesterday is being described as a mass arson attack by Israeli settlers against primarily against two Palestinian settlements in the central West Bank. Now, the Israeli military says dozens of masked Israelis descended on these communities, started lighting fires, attacked Palestinians. The military says that four Palestinians were injured in these attacks. And it says, this is the Israeli military, says its own troops came under assault when they apprehended some of these attackers and turned them over to Israeli police. They say an Israeli military vehicle was damaged in this attack. Video shows burning vehicles, shows burning structures in these communities. And as I say, this is just really the latest attack. When we talk about these attacks against the olive groves, against olive farmers, this time of year when the harvest is coming in has often been a flashpoint between settlers and Palestinians, with the settlers going into these groves, attacking the trees, attacking the Palestinians, really making life miserable and very dangerous for Palestinian farmers.
What are we seeing in terms of reaction from Israelis and others in the region?
We did hear from Israeli President Isaac Herzog, who condemned this arson attack that we saw yesterday. He blamed a handful of very dangerous individuals. He said attacks against civilians and against the IDF, the Israeli military, are unacceptable. But what you're seeing in the Israeli media is really saying that what makes this attack different, stand out, is that authorities actually tried to go in and stop it. Often what we've seen with attacks by settlers against Palestinian civilians is authorities turning a blind eye or worse. We did see a UN report come out a couple of weeks back now talking about this, what they said was a shocking increase in attacks by Israeli settlers against Palestinians, saying that in the first half of 2025, there were 757 attacks that caused casualties or property damage. That's an increase of 13% over last year, and pointing out as well that when it comes to Israeli authorities, that these attacks are often done, if not the authorities being ambiguous or sometimes openly supportive of the attackers. And this report says that this is often done or with a real sense of just impunity by the settlers.
Tom Perry in Jerusalem. Thank you, Tom. We should also note that Israel has reopened the Zakim crossing into Gaza. That's according to the Israeli Defenses Unit that coordinates the flow of aid. Now, that crossing had been shut since September 12th. That's amidst the reporting of Israel's push to seize Gaza City. But UN aid agencies have been calling for the reopening of the crossing and for more aid to flow into the devastated enclave, especially since last month's ceasefire. So this move now means that there are 3 operational crossings into Gaza. While the olive harvest across the West Bank has been the target of rising violence this year, one of the world's oldest olive trees is still standing there, only steps away from the Israeli security wall that separates the region. The tree is estimated to be between 3,000 and 5,500 years old. It has survived drought, war, and occupation. Known by locals as the mother of olives, the tree still grows over 400 kilograms of olives every single year.